Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Phillies Postcast here as part of the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. It's great to be along with you after that dominant performance from Ranger Suarez. 9 innings, shutout baseball, doing his thing on the bump for the Phillies tonight. Curveball working beautifully. Fastball was placed amazingly. And throughout the entire game, he just felt like he had this sense of control. And anytime there was a threat from the Colorado Rockies, some great defensive play was made, whether it was Alec Bohm, whether it was Brandon Marsh, whether it was Ranger Suarez himself playing his position to a Gold Glove caliber level. Absolutely unbelievable. And then the hitting. Oh, the hitting, baby. You have Bryce Harper. You got JT Realmuto getting the bat started off right. Another hit for Trea Turner. Bryson Stott gets another hit. This time it wasn't a cue shot or a dying quail, for instance. It was a legit base hit for Bryson Stott. So everything clicking for the Phils. Then one of the best things about it, other than the fact that it's 9 o'clock and we're starting the show that early after a 6:40 start time, no bullpen. Obviously, complete game shutout. You don't need to put anything on those bullpen arms, which is fantastic. Ranger Suarez rolls through the Rockies lineup to record the second career complete game shutout of his career. We'll talk about all that and more. And right now, you're Locked On Phillies Postcast.
You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Let's start it out by letting you know that this episode is brought to you by Monopoly Go. Tonight's show brought to you by Monopoly Go. And I admit it, I have a competitive side. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the game Monopoly, but even bigger fan of the game Monopoly Go, the mobile hit twist on a classic Monopoly game. So you can join your friends and download Monopoly Go now, free on the App Store and Google Play Store as well. Once again, you are Locked On Philadelphia Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports Network, on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia channel on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started as we always do with 3 big things. Number 1, Ranger Suarez. We had talked about his dominance leading up to this point. We had talked about him getting on track. We talked about giving up a couple of runs there in his previous start, but being able to bounce right back. And that's been Ranger Suarez MO from last year to this year. That's really, even the year before, that is really what Ranger Suarez has been able to do for this Phillies team. Be a steady arm, a steady left-handed arm in this Phillies 5-man rotation. So you just you've learned to depend on Ranger Suarez. So he goes out there tonight, beautiful weather and all, and he just dominated from the get-go. And the feeling I had in the 5th inning, looking at the scorecard there, in the 5th inning, he was at about 48 pitches at the start of the 5th inning. And I went, oh, what the, well, huh? He's only thrown that many pitches? This is incredible. He's insane. And he is dealing. You talk about a guy who is painting corners. You talk about a guy who was throwing that 12-6 hook with a huge cut on it that is just leaving hitters dumbfounded in the batter's box and leaving them flailing at the plate. Ranger Suarez had that working for him throughout tonight. He wanted to pinpoint a low-cut fastball. He pinpointed the low-cut fastball. The strike zone expanded a little bit at times for both pitchers, but Ranger Suarez seemed like he was taking advantage of that a little bit more than Gomber was in his start. The lefty-lefty matchup wasn't much of a lefty-lefty matchup today because Ranger Suarez just had that kind of dominance, wasn't making those big mistakes that you saw later that we'll get to with JT and with Bryce Harper. But from Ranger Suarez's perspective, from the get-go, you just saw Ranger go out there and dominate. Gets Blackmon in the first inning to ground out to Trea Turner, or pop out to Trea Turner. 2 pitches into it. 2 pitches. Gets him to pop out. Then he strikes out Tavar on 3 pitches, including that nasty hook curveball. So he sits down, and then he gets McMahon to ground right back to him for an easy, cool, calm, collected, more like Ranger Suave, with the way he fields those balls at the pitcher's mound, and he throws out McMahon there at first base. Easy come, easy go. You're done in that first inning. You're rolling to that second inning after you get the 2-run home run from JT Realmuto. Diaz steps up there and he gets a single to lead things off. No worries. Jones comes up with another comebacker to Ranger Suarez. He's able to get the 1 out there at first base. All was right with the world. The next thing you know, you get a double play, a 1-3-4 double play in courtesy of Ranger Suarez and how he's able to field his position. Again, cool, calm, collected the entire time. Leadoff single, no problem. He'll get the next outs, and that's exactly what he did. Phillies unable to get him any more run support till the 6th inning. So in the 3rd inning, he goes down again. He faces Trea with 1 out already recorded in the inning. He sits Trea down again. Another strikeout on 3 pitches. This one on what pitch? Yes, that's right. Yet again, the curveball. Again, nasty for Ranger Suarez. Trea then grounds out to short, and that was it in the 3rd inning. Go into the 4th inning, and this was just a thing of beauty, especially if you wrap a walk in here somewhere, which he did. He got right around it. No worries from Ranger Suarez. In that 4th inning, Blackmon strikes out on a 3-2 changeup that he just flailed at, and then Tovar works that walk. McMahon strikes out on a 4-pitch at bat. So again, efficiency with Ranger Suarez, and that was another changeup that McMahon just couldn't handle, and then he gets Diaz to line out to second base, and Bryson Stott's right there to make a play. 5th inning, another quick one. He gives up 1 hit in the inning, but then he sits down Trea to get out of it. 4 pitches again. You sensing a theme? Efficiency with Ranger Suarez in his start tonight. Really didn't find himself in much trouble, and when he did, guys were right there to help him out. Getting to that 6th inning, there was a situation where Trea leads off with a single, so another leadoff man there. Blackmon grounds out, another comeback to Ranger Suarez. He fields it cool again, bobbled it a little bit, unfortunately, but they were able to get the 1 out. Trejo ends up taking second base. Tovar strikes out on a curveball, again, that deadly curveball for Ranger Suarez. And then McMahon hits an infield single to shortstop. Trea Turner charges the ball in the 6th inning, fires to first, unable to get the out. So it's an infield hit. Now, here's the deal. Remember, Trejo led off the inning with a single. So now he is rounding third, heading home, thinking he is going to score on this lazy bouncer or lazy grounder to Trea Turner. Think again, Trejo. No bueno. What ends up happening is Bryce Harper sees what's going on, and after he gets the throw from Trea Turner, and you have the safe call at first base, he then runs to the direction of third base to run down Trejo and make sure he doesn't score on this play. They get him caught in a tiny rundown. Bryce Harper runs it back towards Alec Bohm at third base, flips the ball to Bohm just in time. They make the tag, get a double play right there. All is well that ends well. And that's exactly what went down in the 6th inning there for the Phillies. And then what happened? Ranger got a little bit more help in the 6th inning. We'll get to that. Brandon Marsh came up huge for him, of course, and so did Alec Bohm with some great plays there at third base. But all in all, Ranger was spectacular. And one of the things that I'll point out before I talk about the home run in particular, the Bryce Harper 2-run home run is the reason this ended up being a complete game shutout. Without Bryce Harper attacking 2 more runs on the board, the way he did late in this ballgame, Ranger Suarez is not getting that opportunity to go out there and finish off what he started. Unfortunately, that wasn't going to be the case. At that point, you have Jeff Hoffman up. He's doing some light tossing probably. They got the shot of him in the dugout there when you allowed a couple runners on there in the 9th inning. But other than that, you're not getting that opportunity for Ranger Suarez to go out there in the 9th inning and completely shut this game down. In total, it allowed 7 hits over those 9 innings of work, issued just 1 walk, and he struck out 8 using 112 pitches. Not bad. Lowers his ERA to 173 on the season for Ranger Suarez. Absolutely dominant. You talk about a pitch breakdown for Suarez. First pitch strikes. How about this? 20 of the 32 batters faced. First pitch strikes. What was the word I used earlier? Efficiency. It was automatic tonight for Ranger Suarez. You love to see that. You love to see that from him. And of the 112 pitches that he threw, 79 of them were strikes. Not too bad. Ranger Suarez, the number one big thing. Right after that, the great Charlie Manuel calls it hitting season, folks. I know it's the Rockies. I know it's a 70-degree day and whatnot, but it sure as heck seems like the hitting season in South Philadelphia. Sure as heck feels like hitting season in South Philadelphia. JT Realmuto steps up to the plate in that first inning. He's able to get to that home run. Oh, my goodness gracious. 413 feet of absolute charge that he put into that baseball. You saw the Phillies in that inning. They're able to get Trea Turner on base with a throwing error. Bryce Harper, unfortunately, strikes out after Kyle Schwarber led off by grounding out the first. He got 2 outs. You got a runner on first base. JT Realmuto steps up. And how about this? JT Realmuto faces 7 pitches in the at-bat, fouls off 4 of them, gets a hanging curveball that he blasts 413 feet to left center field. 2-0 Phils just like that. Ranger had the 1-2-3 first inning. Phillies get him immediate run support in the bottom of the first inning. You love to see it. The Phillies keep on rolling through, not able to get a lot going for themselves. In the second inning, they had an opportunity. Johan Rojas laid down a good bunt, but Gomber made the play on it. But then you keep on going through this game, and the Phillies are waiting for their next opportunity to score some runs, and it unfortunately wouldn't really come until that 6th inning. Again, Kyle Schwarber leads off this inning, just like the first inning, where he grounds out to first base to start things off. Trea Turner then smacks a double down the left field line. So another hit for Trea Turner. He has really started to turn it on as of late. He was up in the count 3-0. And what did he do? Well, he did the thing that I always beg him to do, which is be patient. Show some patience to the plate, Trea Turner. Since he has gotten to that 4th, 5th, 6th pitch in the at-bat, he has certainly showed a lot more production for this Phillies lineup. So he's up in the count 3-0, takes the pitch, doesn't get the green light, doesn't hack at it, takes the first pitch to the 3-1 count. Next pitch right over the middle of the plate on another fastball. He jumps all over it and tattoos it down the left field line. He's standing on second base. Now, the next thing that happens is Bryce Harper steps up to the plate. This is the next big thing here when you talk about number 2 with the power from JT Realmuto and Bryce Harper. What did we say yesterday? Bryce Harper, close, just under a couple of those pitches, just under them. He's able to square him up. He's able to barrel him up. You're talking about those balls flying 400 feet out of the ballpark, baby. Bryce Harper steps up to the plate in the 6th inning with a man on. Trea Turner standing on second base. And he gets a RBI double to left field, an 8-pitch at-bat. That at-bat, he fouled off 4 pitches to get that final pitch there of the at-bat that he put into left field for the RBI single, or excuse me, RBI double. So back-to-back doubles there in the 6th inning for Bryce Harper. It's a 3-0 ball game now. And then Bryce just decided that wasn't enough. After he barreled one up for that double, he barrels another one up. This one 381 feet into right field. Johan Rojas had led off the inning. Got on base earlier in the inning with a single. He worked a walk. So already had that threat. He stole second. So again, you had that threat, runner in scoring position, and Bryce Harper brings Rojas and himself home by blasting that pitch out of the ballpark. His 4th home run of the season. His first is his 3-homer game. Get JT going again. Get Harper going again. And good things are going to happen. As I've maintained through the early goings of this season, not even a month old yet, as I have maintained throughout this season, I'm confident that these bats are going to turn it around. I echo the same sentiment as the manager, which is they're going to slug. JT today, Bryce Harper today. Who knows? Maybe Nick Castellanos tomorrow. I know, maybe wishful thinking. But those are the two big things so far, Ranger Suarez, and then the power from JT Realmuto and Bryce Harper. Number 3, the third big thing in this game. Oh, the defense. Oh, the defense. I hate the fact, but I accept the fact that complete games in baseball, complete game shutouts, of course, in baseball, seem rarer than no-hitters and perfect games. It's unreal. But when back in the day, like 4 years ago, when you'd watch perfect games or no-hitters, there had to be some kind of spectacular play, some kind of crazy play. You can go to the White Sox with Mark Burley. Who was it? Dwayne Watt, who was it in center field, made a spectacular catch there to help keep that going. You look at Cole Hamels, no-hitter in his last game as a Philly at Wrigley Field. You had that crazy play in center field by Odubel Herrera. It shouldn't have been that hard, but, Odubel's going to Odubel. So that happened. Even you look at one crazy play in Roy Halladay's perfect game in Miami. The only reason the Phillies even got a run, there was no earned runs in that game. They won that game 1-0. Usually something crazy happens. Roy Halladay's no-hitter in the playoffs against the Reds, that last play of the game, that was insane. The bat, Chooch has got to go around the bat to be able to field the ball and get to throw out Brandon Phillips at first. It was insane. It was bonkers. Something crazy is going to happen. Well, in this game, a couple of awesome plays happened. One was Alec Bohm on a sharp hit line drive, one hopper down the third base line that Alec Bohm just laid out for. Made 2 great plays in this game. That was one of them. The other was Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh throw in this game that kept a runner out of scoring position In the 7th inning, you had a situation there where you had 2 outs. Diaz grounded out to Suarez, who made another great play. And then Jones grounded out to first. And then Montero came up and just laced a one-hopper off the wall in left field. And Montero, who does not run well, was trying to leg this out for 2. Brandon Marsh played this perfectly. I don't know if there was great communication on the field to let Brandon Marsh know that Montero was trying to go for 3, or she was trying to go for 2. So someone's yelling 2, 2, 2, 2. Brandon Marsh barehands it off the wall, turns and fires a perfect throw to second base where Bryson Stott had his mitt out, didn't even have to move it, caught the ball, tagged the runner, out of the inning. Ranger Suarez is excited. South Philadelphia is excited. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited about that play. It was marvelous. An absolute marvelous play by Brandon Marsh. When great things happen like this in baseball, there's got to be some spectacular defense behind it, and it happened again tonight for Ranger Suarez to get his second complete game shutout in his career. His last one, by the way, came back on September 25th, 2001 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He didn't walk anyone in this one. He walked someone today. What the hell, Ranger? Why are you mailing it in, bruh? Anyway, we're going to talk about what this means going forward coming up in a second, especially when we talk about some of the guys that could just be putting it together for your Philadelphia Phillies. One of them, I mentioned the name already, and that is the name of Trea Turner. What you could continue to see from him in the not-too-distant future and the good signs of what Trea Turner has been doing recently at the plate and why this lent himself to a modest hit streak that you might call it today. We'll be back in a second here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, your Locked On Phillies Postcast. You know, I said it at the top of the show. I love me some Monopoly, and I really love me some Monopoly Go. There is a competitive side, a little eye of the tiger when it comes to the game of Monopoly, and it increases tenfold with Monopoly Go. And I'm sure you've heard of it. It's been downloaded over 150 million times, so you probably heard of it. It's a great twist on the old Monopoly game. Mobile version of it. It is great. But this one, you can play on hundreds and hundreds of Monopoly boards. Crazy locations, building up amazing cities that bring you big money. But the best part is messing with the overly competitive friends that you may have. I know I have them. I can charge them rent on my iconic properties. Just like classic Monopoly, you could do that. But now you can also rob their vaults. And you can keep the riches all to yourself. Oh, it's a competitive game of Monopoly on Monopoly Go. Also, the leaderboards show me who has the biggest Monopoly tycoon. So you can check that out. But it's also, it's just fun to be competitive. And here's one of the best parts about it. One of the things I love the most. You can team up with your friends and people all around the world in timed tournaments to earn huge rewards. Get in the game and join your friends. Download Monopoly Go now, free on the Apple Store and Google Play. By now, you've heard me talk a lot about the Game Time app. And if you haven't downloaded the Game Time app and you want to go to the next big game, the next concert, the next comedy show, what are you waiting for? Download the Game Time app. Buying your tickets has never been easier, more affordable, and efficient. I love this ticket app. It's the absolute best. Here's why I love it so much. They got last-minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals, zone ticket deals, easy way to find and buy MLB tickets as well for every kind of event in your area. You can view the seats as well before you buy so you know exactly what you're getting. You're not surprised when you sit down, there's a giant pole in front of you. What? I don't think so. That's what's so great about the Game Time app. And how about this? Lowest price guarantee. Yeah, that's right. Lowest price guarantee. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means the Game Time guarantee. You find tickets in the same section and row for less money on another site, Game Time will get you back at 110% of the difference. That's what they'll credit you. How about that? That's the Game Time guarantee. They got priority last-minute deals. You save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. Flash deals where you can save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or event. And the zone deals. Save even more money when you choose a section and let Game Time app choose the seats for you. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, you create an account, you use the code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. That right there is the Game Time app. And before we go any further, I have to tell you, football fans, tomorrow is the day Locked On's NFL mock draft. That's right. NFL mock draft right here with Locked On Sports. It's the Locked On NFL mock draft live. That is tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, streaming on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 and streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. You can find the ultimate 6-episode series starting tomorrow, April 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern time, to hear who the local Locked On experts are picking for the NFL franchise in your market. Live reactions, local, all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. Locked On NFL mock draft tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, streaming live on Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. So don't miss out on that. Trea Turner is his name. Barreling up baseballs is his game, whether it's hitting gaps, whether it's slapping singles, whether it's stealing 39 bases in a row. Trea Turner is on top of his game this year from the plate. There is no lull in Trea Turner's game. Not at the plate. Has there been some struggles in the field? A little bit. But the Trea Turner that we have seen start out this season is far from the Trea Turner that we had seen beginning last year. Gets another base knock tonight. So now you're looking at Trea Turner's last 6 games. He's got hits in every single one of them. At least one hit in every single one of them. In 2, including tonight, now 2 of his last 6 games, he's got multi-hit games. That's what Trea Turner's been able to put together for you. Whether it's a single tonight and then a double tonight, that's what Trea Turner's been able to get done. He is such a threat on the base paths that it's not just about the overall production of Trea Turner stealing bases, stealing 39 in a row. Nobody's done that since Jimmy Rollins back in 07-08, so it's pretty remarkable. But it's not just the overall production and the bottom line on the stat sheet or the box score. It's getting in the pitcher's head. He gets on base, and this is why I absolutely love seeing Trea Turner have this kind of approach at the plate that he did not have a year ago. Trea Turner now, when he steps into the batter's box, his patience, especially over the last week, has been miles ahead of where it was before last week started. Now, was he falling into the spiraling out of control like he was last year? No, not even close. But I wanted to make sure that this Phillies team avoided that. And one of the ways they avoided that, if he just shows a little bit of patience at the plate. There was a small stretch here in the early goings of the season where it looked like he was already pressing, where he was quickly down 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, time and time again. First pitch sitting fastball, he gets a slider, he flails at the pitch, and it's low and away. That happened too many times in the beginning of the season, enough times for me to go, yeah. All right, let's not start that bad habit, Trea. And sure enough, showed a little bit more patience. And over the last 6 games, you see him get deeper in counts. You see him wait for the pitcher to make a mistake. And that's when he pounces on it. He takes the guesswork out of swinging at the plate. And that's the type of Trea Turner that we saw in the final 2 months of last season, when he let the game kind of come to him. And, he admitted the contract, the pressure of that contract, being in a new environment, despite knowing Bryce Harper, despite knowing Kevin Long, the Phillies hitting coach, despite having played enough games in Philadelphia as a member of the Washington Nationals, he knew where it was going, but the contract and the new scenery, that got to him a little bit. Once he stopped pressing, he became a whole new ball player. Absolutely became a whole new ball player. And what we have seen in the last week from Trea Turner is the guy that I believe he truly is. And that is such a saving grace to not have to worry about what type of performance you're going to get from him. Shortstop is the greatest shortstop in the world. Not so great. But at the plate, if he can continue to get you that production, continue to get on base, continue to drive the baseball, get extra base hits, work walks, and all that, then this guy is going to be smooth sailing. And I can't wait to see how he rides this. for the remainder of the year, because you do have to remember it is still extremely. You're in the first month of the season. But seeing Trea Turner already step up to the plate with a 310 batting average, with an on-base percentage of 372, oh yeah, I'll take this version of Trea Turner to start out a season. And the Phillies are already, it's been well documented. Scott Lauber of the Inquirer wrote a great piece on the Phillies and how they have not been this good for this long through 20 games to start a season. I mean, it's pretty remarkable now. 18 games, excuse me. First 20 games of the season, usually we go, when are they going to start hitting? When is this pitcher coming? What the hell's wrong with Aaron Nola? I told you it was overrated. That's usually where we're like, shooting ourselves in the foot over here. But this year, they're showing September Phillies symptoms. And they're doing that in April. And I'm not used to seeing them do that in April. Now carry it into May. If they're this good now, and this is the time they usually suck, then how good are they going to be when June does roll around? Whatever it is, I can't wait to see it. Oh, and one last thing. The Phillies on a bit of a roll here. Since they lost the series against the Reds, they won the series against the Nationals, they won the series against the St. Louis Cardinals. They split the series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And tonight, half hour ago, they clinched the series with the Colorado Rockies. So let's keep on getting that going. Anybody in the comments, when I say Colorado Rockies, does that remind you of anyone? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Who do we have up here? Crazy. What's up, Crazy? Ranger Danger, Cy Young, Gold Glove. Give it to Ranger. Let's go. Go Sixers. I'm as locked on as Ranger, Farsi. That is your second pun. Go Sixers. Are you a dad? That's a dad pun. I like it. Thank you, Go Sixers. I appreciate it. All right, when we come back, we're going to preview the game for tomorrow, see how the Phillies can wrap this up. 6:05 start time. We'll get that in there as well. And we'll look at the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game, the series finale, where the Phillies will go for the sweep of the Colorado Rockies. We'll get that going in a few. You are Locked On Sports Philadelphia on this Locked On Phillies postcast. Hey, you guys know about LinkedIn. Come on now. How about LinkedIn Sales Navigator? Are you struggling to close deals? B2B selling, tougher than ever, and it's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals efficiently prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Does that sound good? I think it sounds great. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals, and also like job changes, for instance, or which accounts you would prioritize. Sales Navigator on LinkedIn helps you do all that. It also shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter. And right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/locked-on. That's linkedin.com/locked-on for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/locked-on and get started. So your Philadelphia Phillies, after their 5-0 victory and complete game shutout of Ranger Suarez, a couple of home runs from JT Realmuto, and a couple of RBIs there, 3 in total from Bryce Harper, a couple of hits from Trea Turner. After this, they go to wrap up this 3-game series with the Rockies. Tomorrow night, 6:05 start time. Rockies 4-14 now in the season. Phillies 2 games over 500 for the first time on the year. Christopher Sanchez gets the start against Ryan Feltner. Christopher Sanchez did not, unfortunately, have his best stuff out there on the mound. He struggled through 6 innings, but still, even in a struggling performance, allowed 1 earned run, 2 in total. Only hurt himself with his fielding in his last start there against the Pirates. It was that 5-2 loss, but he went 6 innings, allowing those 2 runs, 1 of them earned on 4 hits. He walked 3 as well. And struck out 6. So he'll look to bounce back from that. Hey, it's not that tough to bounce back from a 1 earned run performance. Just a little bit of defense. They learned to play defense like Ranger Suarez, and we're not talking about this. Ryan Feltner gets the start. For the Colorado Rockies, he's 1-1 on the season, is the 27-year-old righty with a 3.38 ERA in his last start. It was against the Toronto Blue Jays north of the border. It was a 12-4 win for the Rockies. He pitched 5 innings, allowing 2 runs, both earned on 8 hits, did give up 1 home run, issued 2 walks, and struck out just 4. He is capable, and he did it in his second to last start against Tampa Bay Rays, where he struck out 10 batters in that ball game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are fantastic as per usual. Make sure you hit like, subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you guys listen to the Phillies podcast in the morning with our friend Connor Thomas. And make sure you hit like, subscribe, and all that on the Phillies Postcast as well. My name is Mark Farzetta. Thanks for being along for the ride. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow night. Now, tomorrow night, the 76ers play at 7 o'clock. So our postcast responsibilities will be for the Philadelphia 76ers after their play-in game against the Miami Heat. Yours truly will be taking you through that. So don't miss that post-game reaction as well right here on what will be 76ers Postcast. But as for now, you have watched this Philadelphia Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow night.